What's up, people? It's your boy, Urban, coming from somebody's mama basement to do what? Drop a video. And why? Because the Laker family wanted, they asked for it. So guess what? You're going to get it served on a platter. And with that, I'm going to drop a rumor that I just found out in an article. But now I'm going to read the article and I'm going to give you my opinion on what I think. This is coming from CBS Sports. It's written by James Herbert, and the rumor is Lakers could trade D'Angelo Russell for top 5 pick in NBA draft. All right. The Los Angeles Lakers seem to have a fairly obvious rebuilding plan in place. Assuming that the Philadelphia 76ers select Ben Simmons number 1 overall in this Thursday NBA draft, the Lakers can take forward Brandon Ingram with the second pick. Then they can re-sign restricted free agent guard Jordan Clarkson in free agency and let new coach Lou Walton build something new with D'Angelo Russell and Julius Randle remaining the point guard and power forward position, respectively. The Lakers might have some surprise up their sleeve, though, and it's worth remembering that this time last year, many thought they would draft big man Jahlil Okafor, not Russell. According to ESPN, Chad Ford, once again, keep in mind, Chad Ford, like I was talking to anonymous Laker nerd in the comment section. Chad Ford, he throws a lot of stuff out there, and a lot of stuff he throws out there, it doesn't stick. These are basically Chad Ford scenarios. These are not Chad Ford saying that he got it from a leaked source or something like that. But they're scenarios and rumors. But there's, they're not really something that's like 100% accurate or true. So don't get nervous, guys. Like I said, it's getting around that time where free agency about the loom, and you got the draft right around the corner. So a lot of analysts and writers are going to be throwing their scenarios, their opinions, and their options out there to see if it stick, to see if other teams pick up on it as well. So I'm going to get right back into it. All right. According to ESPN Chad Ford, it's possible that they pass on Ingram, and it's also possible that they trade Russell for another pick. And this is what Chad Ford had to say. I think we all assumed that Ingram's going to be the guy at number 2, but they brought in Marquise Chris. They taken a long look at him, Ford said in a SportsCenter appearance. They brought in Dragan Bender, Jaylen Brown, and while I still believe that it will be Ingram at number 2, the Lakers have explored other options. And again, I think the concern with Ingram is his lack of strength and how NBA ready he's going to be because of that. I think more likely the Lakers are trying to pick up another pick in this draft and in the top 5, and the guy that they have that they can shop is D'Angelo Russell, a guy who was their number 2 pick in the draft last year but burned some bridges in the locker room. After the video fiasco in late March, Russell endured a wave of backlash in the video for CBS Sports. Former NBA guard Roger Bell said that if he was in Los Angeles general manager Mitch Kupchak's shoes, he would trade Russell months later, though it is a little strange to see his name pop up in this kind of rumor. At the top of the draft this year, crops of prospect is widely seen as the worst in last year. Russell had an uneven rookie season, but that's arguably had more to do with former Laker coach Byron Scott yanking him in and out of the lineup than anything he did wrong. Los Angeles thought it had a future star on its hand when it drafted him last year, and it still should feel that way. Few guards selected in the last decade have projected as better pick-and-roll players than Russell. If the Lakers' concern about Russell somehow outweigh his potential, then they could do worse than acquiring a top 5 pick for him. He's only 20 years old, though, and it seems like they could be in danger of outthinking themselves here. There's nothing wrong Los Angeles doing in due diligence and evaluating every single option before the draft, but there is unlikely to be a better plan than simply draft Ingram and keeping Russell. All right. So with that being said, I'm gonna bring in my opinion. I'm gonna let you guys know right now, they are not trading D'Angelo Russell. Put it to rest. Like I said, there's a lot of rumors out there, and some of it always Chris Ford behind it. But see, the thing is about CBS and also about Laker Nation, what they didn't mention is that Chris Ford did say in another article that it was a scenario, not saying that it can happen. And the reason why he was saying they say based on the scenario, going back to last year where everybody thought they would grab Jahlil Okafor, but they went on and grabbed D'Angelo Russell. So it's just a rumor. It's not going to happen. Like I said, they're going to keep D'Angelo Russell. They got 66 plus million on the table right now. They can sign 2 freaking stars, superstars, and still have enough money to pay a bunch of role players. Now the thing about it is, why would I trade D'Angelo Russell, who was a number 2 pick, for a number 5 pick, when in reality, after Ingram and Simmons, it kind of dies off. I mean, yeah, you got Buddy Hield and all the rest of them guys, Bender and all them, but they're not guaranteed players. And you always once in a while you'll get a luck of the draw. You might get one good proven player in that draft pick, one or two. But at this time, the top two picks are Ingram and Simmons. Most likely, like I said, at the end of the day, a lot of people don't want a lot of teams don't want the other team to know their hand. Like, even though 95% everybody know that Philadelphia going Ben Simmons, and I keep stressing it over and over again, guys. Do not be shocked, and I'm gonna say it again. Do not be shocked if Philadelphia pull a D'Angelo Russell on the whole league and go get Ingram and leave us with Simmons. Like it's a bad thing? No. I mean, either way, we're still going to pan out good. But Ingram will fit that squad in Philadelphia much better than he would fit, not I can say much better than he fit the Lakers, because we can use Ingram better. We can utilize Ingram better because we need a small forward. But so do Philadelphia. Philadelphia need basically a backcourt and a wing. So just imagine if they wind up getting Dion Waiters at the 2. They wind up picking a point guard up. I don't know who, Ish Smith, if he pretty much pan out or whatever it may be. It's a lot that Philadelphia can do, man. Like I said, they got the #1 pick. They might not be too happy with Simmons. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like I said, it could be a toss-up. Like, they could really pull a move on us and take Ingram instead of Simmons. But with that being said, D'Angelo Russell is staying here. They're not going to trade him, man. I mean, that'd be crazy to trade him, knowing that they see potential in him. And it'd be crazy to get, to let him go in favor of somebody who haven't even touched the court yet. Even though they might have came into practice, but remember, that's practice. You gotta keep in mind that 9 times out of 10, when they come in and perform before these scouts and everything, they're not in front of a defender. You know what I'm saying? Like, this them just shooting around, doing their little dribble moves, showing what they got, got to offer and stuff like that, until they actually out there on the floor. Then you can start looking at these players. So with that being said, like I said, it's just a rumor. And like I said, it's by Chris Ford, but that's a scenario that he's basically basing off last year. But he forget about Philadelphia because they could pull the same trick that we pulled on them this year, or this previous year. So, like I said, it's your man Urban. It's just a rumor. I don't believe it. I'm not sticking with it. I believe they're going to keep D'Angelo Russell. They're going to keep the young core together. You know what I mean? And I think they're going to build around them, because I think they're looking at Golden State and seeing what Golden State is doing. And it'd be kind of foolish of them to try to basically buy a ticket to championship land right off the back, and it might fall right in front of their face, like with the Dwight Howard, Steve Nash, Kobe, and so on, and also with the Karl Malone, Gary Payton, Shaq and Kobe. It can happen. You know what I mean? You could buy a whole bunch of those all-star players, and they still probably wouldn't beat the Golden State Warriors. Let's be real. So I'd rather build with the youth, let them develop, you know what I mean, and go from there. Evaluate this year, to see what we need to do. If you need to make moves and stuff like that. There's no Kobe. There's no Scott. There's no distraction. There's no excuse. Let's be patient. Get these guys this year, and I'm talking to the front office, not the Lakers fan, because most of the Lakers fan family are probably on the same boat I'm on. So let's be patient, see what we got this year with no distractions, and go from there. With that being said, it's your man Urban. I love you guys. Like, share, subscribe. Get into the comment section. Let me hear your thoughts, your opinions, what you think. Also, as I always say before, much love to y'all, and be safe out there.